Welcome back to the Pro Sports Podcasters on YouTube. My name is Cornerbacks. Most of you know me as Kobe. And today I'm going to give you my top 5 Interception Challenge bargains on the NFL All-Day Marketplace. But before I get into that, I want to address something that came to us through our website, www.prosportspodcasters.com. A follower sent us a message regarding the last YouTube video I put out, which I expected to get some flack from, but I wasn't expecting this. So I'm going to address that first before I get into the video. And I'm going to read you a portion of the email that was sent to us so you get the idea. And this is how it goes. I am not a troll. I listen to the podcast and like it a lot. This is about your YouTube channel. Your host Kobe is criticizing others for their opinions on NFL all day. He says he's an expert, they have that in quotes, but nobody can predict the future. He has a right to his opinion, but so does everybody else. You guys provide great advice, but maybe leave others trying to help out of it. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I fully agree. Everybody has a right to their own opinions. 100%. I will not get mad at anyone for having an opinion. The difference here is that these opinions are being offered as advice. And that I take issue with, right? We provide advice on this particular channel. We stand by our advice. He likes to put the idea that I'm an expert in quotes, but I am an expert. I do this for a living. We interview NFL players and former Super Bowl champions on this particular show. We provide not just analytics, but also betting advice, which is a tricky slope to go down, really, when you're talking about it. But we do that on this particular podcast and on our website and such because we are actual analysts. So I do consider myself an expert, so I take a little bit of issue with him putting it in quotes, but whatever. But when it comes to providing advice, it's okay to offer an opinion provided it's an educated one. And some of the opinions that are coming out on some of these other YouTube channels and some of these blogs, they're just based on total speculation. It's basically a lottery. That's not advice, right? That's pushing people down a path that has no merit, and that I can't stand by. So when I called out a few of the, advice picks that others had thrown out on my previous video, I had good reason to do so. And I don't think anyone is going to take issue with me telling you that someone like a Russell Wilson or a Dak Prescott or a Josh Allen is a safe bet. I really don't. Barring injury, I expect all 3 of those quarterbacks to have a very good season. The same cannot be said by some of the others I mentioned on that video, mentioned by some of our other competitors. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm okay with opinions, but don't offer advice if it's bullshit. It's that simple. Now let's get into my top 5 interception bargains on NFL All Day. And unlike some of the other videos I've done, there's actually quite a few rares here. And I'm going to begin with those, and it starts with Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons, his rare is at a decent price right now. He's a Denver Bronco, and the Broncos are on the way up for sure. He's a safety, which generally is the perfect position to get interceptions. And it's also his debut moment. But what I really like about Justin Simmons is that the league knows he's a top 5 safety. Everyone knows. This is not up for debate. He is one of the best safeties in the league. But more importantly is that he now finds himself on a team that should be better this year and should generate some leads. And that's when opportunity presents itself for interceptions, right? What you need is a team that needs to battle back and forth and needs to put opponents in situations where they have to go for it. And that's why I like Justin Simmons, because with the addition of Russell Wilson, I expect them to be in some real back and forth battles with the other teams in the AFC West. And that will provide him with opportunities to catch balls and intercept balls because opposing quarterbacks are going to be forced to throw. So I really like him this year. I think he'll have a better year this year than he did last year, and last year's performance got him a franchise tag. So that says it all right there. So Justin Simmons. I also like Xavier Howard. And I've mentioned Xavier Howard in previous videos about defensive deals, but Xavier Howard, again, phenomenal player on what should be an improved offense, especially with the addition of Tyreek Hill. Xavier Howard's going to have a better season. And again, his season was fantastic last year. Again, it's a debut moment. You also have an option for a lesser price, again a rare though, with Xavier Howard if you don't mind not having the debut. I would suggest getting the debut because it's about $15 more, I think, on average than the standard rare. But if you want to save a little bit of money and still have him for challenges, you have that option. Again, it's still a rare, so you get that rare bonus as well. So I like Xavier Howard. And then the last of my rares is Micah Hyde. And we're looking at very similar situations here, right? He's on a fantastic team. He's on the Buffalo Bills. They're going to have leads. Other teams will be forced to put the ball in the air to try and catch up. He's also on a phenomenal defense. So it's not like opposing offensive can just avoid him and look for holes because there really aren't any on the Buffalo Bills. So he's going to get targeted a fair number of times. He's going to have opportunities. And right now, he's still going for a pretty good price. I expect his numbers to go up and cost to go up. But currently, he's one of the better deals as far as defensive rares go. So I like Micah Hyde. And now there's a couple of commons I really like as well. And I wanted to mention these because they really stand out to me. One of which is a guarantee. The other's got a little bit of gamble to it, but I still want to mention them. We're going to start off with the guarantee. And the guarantee is Kenny Moore II with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, here's why I really like Kenny Moore here. First of all, he was phenomenal last season. He was one of the interception leaders last season. Secondly, he's on a very good team with a very balanced defense that, in my opinion, has gotten better with the addition of Matty Ice at quarterback. So I like that. On top of that, they just went and spent big money and got Stephon Gilmore. So his opposite side is considered to be one of the top, say, 3 cornerbacks in the league. So that means they're going to target him more. They just are. It's that simple. No one's going to come into the Colts stadium and say to themselves, you know what, we should just see how good Gilmore is and target him as many times as we can. No, they're going to go to Kenny Moore's side of the field. So he's going to get even more opportunities than he had last year. So I really like him here. He's common. He's bottomed. He's going for like $4 or $5. So snatch him up, add him to your collection. That's a no-brainer to me. And then the last one is the Honey Badger, Tyrion Matthews. Now, Tyrion Matthews comes with a little bit of a risk because we don't know where he's going to end up, right? He's a free agent right now. And some of his success is because he's got to spend the last couple seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are always playing with a lead, who are such a dynamic offense that other teams are forced to try and match him throw for throw, and it gives opportunities to the Honey Badger. But I expect him to go to a contender. I don't see him ending up just anywhere. I really don't. At this point in his career, he's probably more interested in playing for a competitive team than making huge money. Sure, he's going to get paid. Not a ridiculous amount, but he'll get paid well. But I expect him to really kind of balance it out between how much he makes and where he wants to be. So it would not surprise me to see him on a contender or maybe a 1 or 2 year contract. And if that's the case, he's going to want to show out right off the bat to ensure himself the opportunity to go on and extend that contract or move to another team afterwards. Keep in mind, if he does get picked up by a contender, his value will probably jump immediately, even before the season begins. Like I said in previous videos, all of these moments on NFL All Day, I expect them to really start peaking out, start to hit their real values when the season begins. But in between now and then, you will see some of them go up periodically, depending on what happens during the offseason, like someone like Tyrion Matthews getting signed. That really affects things. So he's on the list, and he's one that you definitely should have. I've got multiple. And those are my top 5 interception challenge bargains right now on the NFL marketplace. If there's any I've left off, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you've got issue with me offering advice, hey, let me know, right? I'm going to answer everybody's query. So go ahead, leave us a message. And if you haven't yet, check out the website, scroll to the bottom of the homepage and sign up to become a PSP Insider, because we will offer additional information that you won't get on the YouTube channel, that you won't get in our blog, that you won't see any of our social medias. They'll come directly to your inbox, and it's hints and tips to both bet and accumulate NFTs in the sports arena. Till next time.